Hey everyone, this is Zaeem Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews, and today I will be checking out the 2-in-1 fisheye and macro lens from the people over at Mpow. The Mpow 2-in-1 fisheye and macro lens comes in a very simple packaging. As you can see, it's just a lens at the front and the rest of the box is just plain white. There's not much interesting information on it. So I'm just going to put that down and open it up. And inside the box you get three main things. So the first thing you get, of course, is the lens, and you can see here it's very well built. It's actually entirely made out of metal and hard plastic, and it does look very similar to a DSLR camera lens, and of course it also has a nice lens clip. So I'm just going to put that here, put the lens cover back on, put it to the side, and also in the box you get the actual clip which attaches the lens to your phone's camera. It's actually very well built again, and the clip here is actually quite tight, so I'm going to put that to the side again. And lastly, you also get this little pouch which you can use to transport your lens, and it's very nice, shiny and soft. I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to pop that back into the box and close it up like so. And here we have the lens itself. As I mentioned before, this is a 2-in-1 lens, so you've got macro and you have fisheye. And it looks very nice. It looks very similar to a DSLR camera lens, and the build quality is equally impressive. It's made out of hard plastic and metal, and you've got these nice rubberized ridges here to make sure it's easy to grip, and it just looks really nice. It looks very professional, and I really do enjoy the design. At the top you have the little lens clip like that, so the cover comes off like that, and here you can see the fisheye lens. And on the back it just screws off like so, and there you have the macro. Now when you're using the fisheye lens, you actually have to use both parts like this, so they're together. That's the only way you can actually use a fisheye lens to get a nice clear image. If you disconnect them like this, that's the only way you can actually use a macro lens by itself. You can't actually use a fisheye like this, otherwise you get a blurry image. So I'm just going to put that to the side, because I want to focus on the macro lens. It is definitely better one of these two, and with this you get 10 times magnification. So when you want to connect it to your phone, you actually have to use a clip here, and again there are no magnets involved with this. It simply just screws on like so, and it doesn't damage your phone in any way. So just screws on like that. And then let me just show you the clip itself. It's actually a very tight clip, and you might be worried that it could damage your phone, but Mpow has added a nice little rubberized coating here, and it's very soft to the touch, and that's to ensure that it doesn't actually damage your phone. Even if you're using it with a phone which has a screen protector installed, this will not damage the screen or rub off the actual protector itself. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like with a couple of different phones, and I will mention there are one or two minor issues which you should keep in mind should you choose to buy this. So these are the three phones I'm going to use a lens with. On the left you have the iPhone 6 Plus, in the middle you have the Motorola Moto G, and on the right you have the LG G3. So we'll start with the Motorola. And as you can see, I've already got my camera on. I'm going to attach the lens. As I mentioned before, there is a nice rubberized finish on the lens here itself, so you've got a nice finish here. That's to protect your phone, and also on the other side of the clip you also have another rubberized finish here, so that's to ensure that your phone doesn't get damaged at all when you are using this lens. So you just push it onto the phone like that, and as you can see, it doesn't cover the entire lens because it can't go any further. So as you can see, the bottom bit of my camera is actually not covered by the lens. That doesn't really make a difference. And I'm just going to show you here. I have a coin. I'm just going to do that, and as you can see, the macro lens works very well. So that looks pretty cool, and I'm going to take that off. And now we have a look at the iPhone 6 Plus. So here I've got the iPhone 6 Plus, great background, and here we go, camera. So again, with the iPhone you can see the lens, the camera is right here. It's a very small camera, so you can make sure that the lens covers the entire thing like so. And again, same thing with the macro. It works very well. You can see all the detail on this coin, so that's great. And whoops, let me just show you one thing. As you can see on my iPhone 6 Plus, I have this little metal ring. And I have been actually using another macro lens with the iPhone, and that is the Photo Jojo lens, and it just clips on magnetically like so. And again, you get the same things. Great macro lens. Let me just go back to my screen here. There we go. So as you can see, great macro lens, you get the same details and everything. The only thing is this is magnetic, so that could potentially damage your phone, or if you put your phone in the same pocket as your credit cards and other things, then this magnet might damage that. Secondly, this little lens attachment here, this is permanent, so it's permanently attached to the phone. I can't really take it off, and as you can see, it's already been sort of scratched and damaged. So that is why I'm actually preferring the Mpow lens here, because it just clips on at the top like so, and it doesn't damage my phone in any way. Before we turn to the fisheye lens, we're just going to have a look at the last device here, the LG G3, my current daily driver. And as you can see, I've got the volume down, volume up power buttons, and I've got the flash here, and my IR blaster is blasting away because the camera is turned on. So when I put my lens on the phone like this, you can see that it instantly covers the flash and the IR blaster and my power button and the volume up button. So this lens will actually cover different things depending on what device you have, so make sure that it doesn't cover anything important before you actually buy the lens itself. That being said, you can still take really great pictures, and it doesn't actually block the camera in any way. You can see that the entire camera is still viewable through the lens. Another issue which you should make sure, it's taking a picture. Another thing you should make sure with this lens is that if you're using it with a case, that it actually works. So I'm just going to put my LG G3 in the case like that. And as you can see, when I put the lens back on, it does stretch the lens quite a bit. You can see the clip is actually straining, and there is a gap here. And that might actually mess up some of your pictures, and it might actually mess up the clip as well. So if you're using an OtterBox or like a heavy duty case, this will definitely not fit on your case. This is actually a TPU case, so it's relatively slim, but you can still see that it's actually messing up my macro lens clip here. So again, different phones and different cases will have different results with this lens. Just be careful that it actually fits and works with your lens, with your phone and your case before you actually buy the lens. So now we can actually turn back to our fisheye lens. And as I mentioned before, you can't actually use this lens by itself. It has to be used through the macro lens. And that's for two main reasons. First of all, if you try to take any picture just by using the fisheye lens, all of your pictures will be blurry and out of focus. Secondly, and perhaps more importantly, this lens doesn't even connect to the clip. There's no way to connect it unless you actually use it through the macro lens the way it's supposed to be used. So to connect the fisheye and the macro lens, you just put them together like that, and it screws into place. There we go. And I should mention again, build quality on this is really nice. It is very solid, and it's got a nice tight feel. And here we have the clip, and you just connect that again like you normally would with the macro. And there we go, and that is your fisheye lens. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like on different phones. Again, it's exactly the same as the macro lens, but I want to show you anyway just so you get a feel of how big it is and what it covers. Right, well, we can start in reverse order this time with the LG G3 coming in first, and I'm going to use it with a case to show you that there is a tiny bit of an issue with the fisheye lens because it doesn't actually fit with a case. It's the same thing with macro as it was before, so you just pop it into place like so. Try your best to make sure that it fits properly, and as you can see, it is covering the entire camera properly, I hope. There we go, so you can see my camera down there, but you can also see that there is quite a noticeable gap between the lens and my phone's case. And of course my case actually has a bit of a raised edge here, so the camera is even further down than you would expect, and that's going to result in a weird picture. So the entire right side is actually covered by the fisheye lens, and I'm not really getting a fisheye lens on the left side anyway, so that's just like a normal picture. That's not what you want. So when you're buying this lens, please make sure that it fits with your phone, and if possible, try not to use it with a case. Just use it on the phone directly to make sure you get the best possible effect. Also, definitely this will not work with an OtterBox or heavy duty case, so just beware of that. Secondly, we can have a look at the iPhone 6 Plus again. And it's the same thing. The iPhone of course has a very small camera on the left edge, and that makes it very easy to pop your lens into place, as you can see here. And again, you can get a really nice fisheye lens, and you get a wide angle. I think it's about 180 degrees, I'm not sure, but you can get some fantastic pictures using this lens like that. And I'm going to take it off again. Lastly, we'll just have a look at the Moto G and see what that looks like. Again, same thing as macro, pop it into place like that. You can see that the Moto G is a bit fatter than the other phones, and as a result the bottom bit here is not exactly touching the screen, but at least the lens is touching my phone's camera, and that makes sure that I get a nice fisheye lens picture. So there we go. Just take a picture of that. And the purpose of this is just to show you that the lens covers different parts of different phones, to please make sure that it works with your phone before you decide to buy it. That being said, this is a fantastic lens. I love the build quality. It's very professionally packaged as well. And if you're interested in photography, if you're interested in photography, this is a fantastic buy, especially the macro lens. You get 10 times the magnification and you get some really good pictures. So before I end the review, I'm just going to show you a bunch of pictures I took with the macro lens and the fisheye lens to show you what kind of images you can get. If you like the video, of course, please like, favorite, comment and subscribe. And if you decide to buy the lens, please let me know and just, give me an idea what kind of pictures you would take with that brilliant macro lens. This has been Zaeem Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews. Thank you for watching.